Do you have a great idea for a podcast? Or maybe you already have a podcast, but you're getting overwhelmed with editing or production? Head over to EndeavorPodcastSolutions.com. They have everything you need, from intros and outros to editing work, voiceover, you name it. That's EndeavorPodcastSolutions.com. Podcasting simplified.
We take so much for granted. We just wrapped up Thanksgiving, a day to show thanks for what we have, and we celebrate it by stuffing our fat faces to the point of nausea. Then Christmas comes along and we do the same thing, but only after we shower each other with gifts. We'll spend obscene amounts of money on stuff we don't need and give it to somebody else that doesn't need it. Then we'll stuff our fat faces again. Man, I love the holidays. But is it necessary? Yes, and I love it. But what I don't love, on average, we waste 133 billion pounds of food a year. That's roughly 150,000 tons a day, or as Dave has called it, a light lunch. But you're telling me we can't stop hunger? I don't get it. All I'm saying is we should think about the people that don't have the means to enjoy what we get to enjoy. When you're telling your kid to go to bed because Santa's going to come down the chimney and give him tons of stuff, just remember, there's a kid out there on the other side of the world that the only thing potentially coming down his chimney is a Tomahawk missile. Well, they don't celebrate Christmas anyway. They have like slaughter a goat day or some shit. I don't know. I seen it on the Discovery Channel once. No, I'm not saying don't enjoy it. Hell, buy a bunch of shit off Amazon and give it to your friends and family. Then eat half that pumpkin pie and just throw the rest out. It's only going to get that weird thick top layer and dry out anyway. Fuck it. But just remember the less fortunate. With that said, Maestro, hit that music.
All right, welcome back to Needless to Say. I'm Dave. I'm here with Brad and Craig, the two dishes from Thanksgiving that will always be leftovers.
Nice. We are the Brussels sprouts
Yes.
yeah. of the show.
No. Craig's like the fruitcake or Jell-O mold or whatever the fuck you are. That's you.
What, you mean something that sat in a dish other than its own can?
Yeah.
Craig sends me a picture yesterday of his fucking cranberry jelly, and it had more ridges than usual. I feel like you carved new ones in there.
That was Dave.
That was me.
Oh, that was you?
Sent the picture.
Yeah, I sent you the can with 2 eggs, and then I sent you the cranberry sauce outside of the can.
I tried my best to avoid you guys because it was a day of giving thanks, and I'm not thankful for either one of you. But when I get a picture of a mold of jelly just sitting on a plate, and a nice plate too, you like,
Yeah, it was.
like you couldn't have ghettoed this thing up more than slapping a giant blob of like third-rate shelf-stable Jell-O.
Well, that's because I saved the paper plates for my family.
That's right.
Honestly, I was kidding with you guys a bit last week. This shit tastes good, but it's a fucking dessert. It belongs nowhere near sage and rosemary and all these other wonderful things that make stuffing so goddamn good.
Wait, are we still talking about cranberry sauce?
Yeah.
It's a dessert? You're out of your goddamn mind. How is that a dessert?
It's not a dessert.
It's Jell-O. You said it yourselves last week. I have evidence.
It's jellied.
It's jellified.
Okay, so one's saying the wrong word, another one's making one up. You're both a disaster.
No way.
Anyway, I'm glad the holiday's over. My week was good. No, it was fine. I mean, it was just the 4 of us this week. There really wasn't a hell of a lot going on. You know, you do 6 hours of cooking for what equates to about 25 minutes of eating.
Yeah.
And
That's about right.
Yeah, and you know the kids, they like the food to a certain extent, but as usual, I'm the only one eating the turkey. I literally brought a giant turkey carcass down to my office today. Tried to design my Christmas card, and I just picked at it like a savage.
Nice. Nothing wrong with that.
Well, no, that's the best part of the holiday as far as I'm concerned. My wife cooked. She made mostly vegan stuff. Everybody wins.
Yeah.
It wasn't a bad holiday, but, you know, I think we were more excited about waking up today and having it be Friday.
And Christmas.
Yes.
Well, yeah, Christmas is here, folks, and
Yep.
I'm psyched. But we got weeks to talk about that.
Oh, yeah.
I'll let Craig do the excitement later. Dave, our wonderful intro, by the way. Wonderful.
Thank you.
How was your week?
It wasn't bad, man. It was a light week. There was nothing going on at work. You know, with training, there's nothing scheduled this week. There's no sense in doing anything for 2.5 days, really.
Yeah.
So work was easy, but holidays were fun. Or the holiday we hosted. So like you said, we spent all day cooking. I made 2 pounds of Swedish meatballs.
Nice.
Oh man, my grandmother's recipe. They're amazing.
What makes them Swedish as opposed to Italian?
Funny
meatballs?
accent.
They're blonde meatballs.
Is it just that they're smaller?
It's a totally different recipe. It's beef and pork mixed together, and it's got salt and pepper.
Actually, there's veal in there too, I think.
Depends on how you make it. Yeah, my grandmother's recipe was always just pork.
I always wondered that because I was like, "What the fuck?"
It's the sauce, really.
It's a fucking meatball.
They put white sauce on it, and it also listens to better music.
Yeah.
I'm on.
You had Craig at white. He's in.
Yeah.
Get 3 meatballs burning down churches.
Yeah. No, 1 meatball burning down churches, 3 trying to kill the other meatball.
Yeah.
But that was at like 7:30 in the morning. I was up. I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna make them now.
Yeah.
So by 8:30, all the meatballs were done. We make a bunch of sides. I had meatballs for breakfast yesterday. It was amazing. That's how I started. Every tray that comes out, I got to try 2 or 3 to make sure they're good.
Yeah.
As opposed to the bastion of nutrition that is your normal
That's
meal.
right. That's right. I'm willing to risk getting worms for my family's happiness.
You managed to insult Ray's cooking and the Swedes all in once. I don't know how you did that.
No, I did that, and I take care of the turkey. Ray did pretty much all the other sides. She did everything else. But no, it was fun. But I ate Thanksgiving dinner the way Craig described he eats every dinner, every night. I did. I ate a ton. But actually, it wasn't so much the dinner; it was desserts.
Yeah.
Because a bunch of our family had to leave, so a lot of them didn't stay for dessert. So we left with like 5 pies, a tray of brownies, and I was like, everybody's gone. So I loaded it up. Like my paper plate was folding under the weight of the desserts.
Yep.
That's what got me.
Yeah.
The paper plate for family.
Yeah. But it was one of those full where I had to stand up. Like I couldn't sit and watch TV. I had to stand.
Yeah.
I no longer bend.
Right.
There are no right angles here.
And I was so thirsty, but I couldn't drink any water because I was so full.
It hurts.
I slept with 3 pillows under my head. So basically, I had to sleep sitting up.
The elephant man.
I was afraid I was going to choke in my sleep.
Mumbling on that, I'm not an animal.
Yeah.
I actually woke up twice with the food sweats.
Yeah.
I did. I woke up, my head, like I was sweating, and I had to go to the bathroom with cold water on my face. It was awful.
I was sweating. I was sitting on the couch in my mother's house just pouring sweat.
Oh.
And it was not hot in there.
Nope.
No. It was just
I ate a reasonable amount of food and then digested it.
I'm still working on that part.
I digested
because for lunch I had the same size meal that I had for dinner last night.
like the fucking Sarlacc pit. I'm slowly digesting it over 1,000 years right now.
The worst part is that didn't stop me from eating my normal meals outside of that. Like I still had normal breakfast and everything. Oh yeah.
I ate last night about 7:30. I was like, we still have donuts, and I ate donuts. Yeah.
You're disgusting.
Yeah.
What kind were they?
You were filthy.
Entenmann's.
Entenmann's.
The
Oh, that's
powdered-
right. Is that the ones you were?
Yeah, I still
were
had
they
some left over. Yeah.
Will you please tell everybody else? Fran sent you to the store to get a box of stuffing.
Yeah, she sent me to the store to get 2 boxes of stuffing and a jar of apple pie filling.
Okay.
I came back with 2 things of apple pie filling and 1 box of stuffing, a gallon of ice cream, a box of Entenmann's donuts, a box of Entenmann's flaky puffs, and whipped cream.
So if you're keeping track, listening, that's an entire thing of pie filling just for him.
Yeah.
Entenmann's donuts. Entenmann's what else?
The flaky puffs, raspberry
flaky puffs. Raspberry flaky puffs.
That's a real thing, flaky puffs?
I ate the whole fucking box that day.
I know, I had no doubt. I'm asking you if it's a real thing. Your food diet is now like reaching into the imaginary. You've run out of normal things to eat. So
I would love someone to calculate the calories involved in this.
My calorie intake is fucking massive.
But you cut sugar out of your coffee.
I did. I don't have sugar in my coffee. I haven't had it yet. I'm doing good.
For those of you who might have missed
feel
last
great.
week's episode, let me give you a recap. Fuck off, Craig.
I feel great.
Seriously, fuck off and die like you know you're going to. like in the very near future.
He should be the one like getting over here on like a Walmart fat person cart that they scrolled around in with one hand and missing 2 feet and a headset microphone because he can't hold it.
I would love to be standing behind you at a Walmart, watching you go down like the bagged aisle of just
God.
bags and colors, and I want to see you grab your left arm and then have that thunderclap from hell. I will applaud until your face hits the fucking cement. I have fucking had it with you and your diet. I heard back that episode twice, and I got angrier at the 2 guys who were supposed to be my best friends, are the 2 of the most gluttonous human beings in the world. They're talking about their meals in a ratio of sweat.
Yeah.
I ate a reasonable meal. I even went outside my fucking diabetic diet a little bit. I had some bread. Craig is like, I ate an entire box of flaky puffs.
And then looked for the donuts.
I saved one for Fran. She bit it and said she didn't like it, so I ate it.
Seriously, if you ever look at your food bill and then put a gun in your mouth, think about it.
Is it a candy gun?
It's a gummy gun. Yeah. You got a big old gummy Beretta tickling your fucking uvula.
I know what was funny was I was in line. I almost bought a king size Snickers.
Oh, because
it was there on the
Just
thing.
to get you through the...
End the sentence there. Because it was there.
But I didn't want it because I knew Fran would be mad.
Did you got one or you didn't get one for her?
No, that I got one because I bought all the other stuff. I wasn't supposed to. I was only supposed to get the stuff in.
The amount of food you 2 fuckers eat, I swear to God, both of you are going to be the sweethearts of prison.
So, do you go to the Shaws across the bridge?
No, I went to the one I actually went to the one in Riverside, down by the carousel area.
So you had a long enough drive to dismantle that Snickers before you get home.
Oh, definitely could have ate it, but she gets their receipts. She was seeing Snickers on it, so I just ate 2 flaky puffs.
You could have like at the conveyor belt put the little bar down, then put your Snickers in another bar, so you just ring that out separately.
Should have did that.
From like $2 out or pay with cash.
I got to get my.
So you got to keep your candy cash on you.
Fucking candy game on.
Just think of your grandparents. They always had cash to give you candy.
Yeah, right.
That's what you need just for yourself.
I'll say it.
I'm trying to get body parts to fall off of him now. Yeah. There's no sense in trying to reform him. I'm just going to push him.
What do you mean? I'm reforming myself.
No, you're not.
I told you I stopped putting sugar on my coffee and cream. That's it. It's baby steps, man. It's happening.
You're 46 years old.
I was so mad. Dave gave me a pie last week. I bought pies for your daughter's fundraiser.
Yeah.
And as soon as I got home, I was like, I have 2. Fran doesn't know I have 2. She might think I only have 1. So I'm like, I'm going to fucking eat this pie right now.
Wasn't it frozen?
It was frozen and uncooked.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You still tried, didn't you?
I stuck a fork in it, and I was like, what the fuck is this? I didn't think it was. I thought it was cooked. Like, I thought it was done. Yeah. So it's in the freezer. It's coming out tomorrow.
Craig's last name begins with D-E. What you don't know is that the next 3 letters are C-A-Y. And I wouldn't have it any other way.
Did I tell you how many pies that we bought for that fundraiser at her school? So we needed 2 sheets, 2 forms to fill out. We filled up one in like a day.
Yeah.
Between us and our family and friends. When we went to pick them up, the woman who runs the daycare sent out a message to all the parents and said, hey, they'll be ready for pickup at 4:00.
Yep.
4:06, they call Rayanne and say, are you coming to pick these up tonight? We don't have space to keep them here overnight.
Do you have a U-Haul?
So I showed up. I backed up to the door, and she was like, oh, they're over here. They had a whole 6-foot folding table set up with just our pies on them. I had 7 boxes of pies with like 4 or 5 pies each in every box.
Damn. That's
I almost
awesome.
couldn't close the trunk of my car to get them home.
That's awesome.
This is why they hate America.
Yeah.
But
I hate you all.
no, but yesterday was a great day with my family. I had fun with my family yesterday. I ate a ton of food.
We're rolling each other over.
Yeah.
Exchanging washcloths.
There's no fat people in my family.
His sister's running around trying to revive half the family after dinner.
Craig actually had his lower intestine removed. It's just PVC pipe now. It's a straight shot. You get a Teflon job twice a year. It just slides right on out, huh? Explains your girlish figure.
He's got some corrugated pipe that comes out of his stomach, wraps around his waist, and goes back in.
It was a great day. I was excited. I love Thanksgiving, and I love when it's. And last night was the first time. Usually I go home, I'll just watch whatever. And last night I was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna watch a Christmas movie." So I just started. But I ended up watching Bad Santa.
That's a Christmas.
Anyway,
that counts.
No, it's a Christmas movie, but
It literally says Santa in the title.
No, I know, but I mean, I didn't watch like the feel good, lovey dovey ones, And I was just excited, and it was funny because even my wife, when we were driving home. My wife's like, it actually feels like the holidays this year. Last year, it really didn't. It was weird last year. It seemed like it came up fast on us. You know what I mean? Like for us.
Well, you lost a whole weekend moving me. And by the way, thanks again for that.
No.
Now, wasn't Thanksgiving earlier in the month last year? I feel like it was.
No, it was a week. It usually falls in the third week. It's usually like the 24th or whatever. It just so happened that Thursday fell late this year.
Right.
And I think it will again next year, which I'm cool with.
Yeah.
Because one of the things I always hate about Thanksgiving is as soon as Thanksgiving's over, you want to be in Christmas mode, but it's sometimes as long as a week before fucking December.
Right.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, December is really Christmas. I wait till the first day of December. I'm cheating this year and getting the tree tomorrow. Yeah. But ultimately, we get a full month of
that's the thing.
Christmas.
It's usually like not that weekend right after Thanksgiving. The next weekend after is when you start doing the Christmas stuff. This year, I had the same thought. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. December is when?
Monday.
Monday.
Yeah, Monday, yeah.
Just do it now.
Yep.
Because if I waited till December 6th or 7th, it's too long.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
I'm all for it, man. I'm psyched. For once, like last year, we lost half the month just getting ready for the move. So
yeah.
by the time
you guys moved?
Yeah, well, ask Craig. Ask Craig about his hand.
Yeah.
That surgically repaired hand that carried most of my living room. Honestly, I think, I lost some time with the move and everything. So by the time we actually got the tree up, it was like the 15th or the 16th of December. It's 9 days of Christmas. What the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hallmark's been showing movies since late October.
Yeah.
They have one for you. It's called The Christmas Nausea. You filthy fuck.
Craig's stocking actually has a foot in it.
It's just don't be jealous. That's what it is. It's jealousy.
I'm not going to be jealous when you're in a shallow grave near my house.
Yeah. I get a physical every year. Healthy as a horse.
You're going to get one, all right?
Healthy as a horse.
Okay.
I am.
Somewhere in the distance, it's just a gunshot.
Oh, he broke his good hand.
Tonight's episode brought to you by Elmer's Glue. All right, so Thanksgiving is good, but Thanksgiving is over. We're getting ready for Christmas. Now, one thing we did last year that was kind of a mistake, we did kind of like 4 Christmas episodes.
Yeah.
There's no harm in talking about it, but we can't harp on it too much. And thankfully, the headlines this week agreed with us.
Yes.
We have a few other festive things to get to before we get into the red and the green and the holly jolly. Dave, why don't you lead us off with the first amazing body-shaming headline of the week?
Oh, this was amazing. After we finished talking about being gluttonous a-holes, except for Brad, he's just an asshole.
Yep.
There's a story about this 82-year-old female bodybuilder who fought off an intruder, broke a table on him, and said, "I was wailing on that man."
Yes. Yep.
So this was in upstate New York, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Rochester area.
Yeah. Yep.
She's I think last year, the 2018 weightlifting champion or something ridiculous. She's a bodybuilder.
Yeah, she's a bodybuilder. She's 89. She can do one-armed pull-ups, one-arm push-ups. She could do those diamond push-ups. She could do fingertip push-ups. They're naming all the stuff that she does. She actually deadlifts 250 pounds.
Which is twice her weight.
She weighs like 120 something pounds. This guy broke into her house. He went to the door and said that he was shot and he needed help.
Right.
And
tried to trick his way in first.
Yeah.
Yep.
And she opened the door and he tried barging in and she, I guess, knocked him down and then hit him with the table.
She couldn't get the door. He's still trying to come in.
Yeah.
Let me guess. Single?
I don't know if he's married or not.
Yeah. But she started but my favorite part of the whole thing was after she hit him with the table,
nearly broke the table in half over this guy.
Nearly broke the table in half over his back. She grabbed a broom and a bottle of shampoo and dumped the bottle of shampoo into his eyes. And then began to stab him with all her might, she said, as hard as she could.
Which is probably a lot.
Jabbing him with the end of the broom. And the guy was laying on the ground just screaming for help.
And then right after that, she came down off her ketamine high.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm sure she was like wailing on the guy for like. I love this woman though. She's not pressing charges because she said I already put the man in the hospital.
Yeah. Yeah, she said I already put him in the hospital. I'm not pressing charges. Yep.
And you know what's sad though? She's gonna slip in the bathtub and it's just over.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's the crazy thing. She's still 82.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is they might be in great shape, but one bad thing happens rather, and everything else goes downhill quick.
She forgets to get her flu shot.
you
know.
Next time they break in, they just sneeze on her. Wait.
Yeah.
She accidentally reaches for the same turkey leg that Dave was going for.
Yeah.
Just turn the heat down 2 degrees in her house.
I do like. I do like the comment though. She was wailing on him. I think that's a badass comment, just like Dave was wailing on that cushion.
Yeah.
Fuck you both, fatty and fake fatty.
And fake fatty.
Soon to be fatty. You're like, I realize now, I'm looking at you, you're like those biscuits, those pressurized biscuit cans. You are literally like a Pillsbury Grand tube that you leave in your fridge too long, you forget about it, it sits under the butter, and then every now and then, one day, you think there's gunfire, but no, it's just the biscuits exploding. Your belt is the can. You are about to explode like the fucking Doughboy, and I can't wait to watch it. Watching you get so fat and unhealthy is going to be on front row tickets, bitch. Front row tickets. Yep. Oh my god!
Oh my! Look, he's so excited. He can't wait for that day. That's not coming.
Excited might not be the best word.
He can't wait for that day to not come.
Oh no, because the COPD will get you way before it.
Yeah, that'll get me before that.
Oh my god!
That's gonna be your last 3 words. I'm not fat, Brad.
Yeah.
There's Craig. He was 51.
Yeah.
Fucking headstone just reads one more donut.
And it's even on the headstone, it's going to be pronounced wrong.
Yeah.
What the fuck is a donut? DONIT.
Fucking ass Duncan.
That's not how they spell it.
Oh no, that's not how they spell it either.
I'm pretty sure yous work differently.
Donuts.
You're a literate can of biscuits.
Donuts.
It sounds worse when you try to do it.
N-U-T. Donuts.
Oh,
You see, but he has to try to see.
tried.
No, I didn't try to say this.
Donut.
Buy a box of the Hostess donuts.
yes.
Donuts.
But that's not what you say either.
No, what did I?
Donuts.
Donuts.
Donuts. Yeah.
Yeah. Wrong.
Donuts.
Wrong.
Twice. Was.
Sounds like a game that Mattel would put out, like donuts.
Did it?
Donut?
Or donuts?
Hurts, don't it?
Yeah.
What do you mean, illiteracy? Yeah, it probably does. I wouldn't know, though.
In 15 years, it's going to be donuts hurts.
So is that the only old people story we had this week?
Oh, we
It
can
is
keep
not.
talking about Craig.
That's next week. Yeah.
What's next week?
My birthday's coming up.
No, it's not. Is it?
Yeah.
It's later in the month.
It's next Monday.
Oh, fucking hell.
Wait, so when are we? Oh, shit. We're going to that comedy show on the 7th.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
That was for your
That's a week
birthday.
from
I should have
tomorrow.
known that.
Yeah.
We're talking about going to this show. Craig bought all the tickets. And we're like,
He bought us tickets for his birthday.
Well, I don't like inviting people to something that you have to pay for. It's kind of
still did it.
It's one thing to say, hey, let's go out to eat or something like that, or let's go to the bar or something like that. But to say, hey, I want to get tickets for this show and do this for my birthday. It's not. I don't know. I don't find it right.
how
to
did you
force
do this?
people
You
to
bought
buy
10 tickets,
Yeah.
and you had the budget of Snickers bar yesterday. I don't know how these worlds exist in parallel. I'm having trouble with this one.
I'm sure Fran can classify it as a business meeting if there's more than 8 people.
That's true. So it's group therapy.
That's right.
For soon-to-be fatties.
It's like an
It's called
intervention.
intervention.
It's an intervention. If you piss when I'm eating those junk fries over there. Those
They're called garbage fries.
garbage fries. Whatever.
And I
Same
can't have
thing.
those either.
Yeah.
Or junk fries.
It's awesome.
All right, so I guess your birthday is coming up, which
Yes.
means Dave and I got to go to work. Fuck.
See?
All right.
I
Sorry.
totally forgot, dude. I knew it was
So-
around Christmas. I didn't think it was like right at the beginning of the
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
month. God damn you.
Yep. God damn. You talk to my mom. Don't yell at me.
I'm never having that conversation with her again.
Right.
All right, Craig, you fake fatty, read the next headline.
Oh, he can. He doesn't have his phone.
Yes. My phone is
I'll read it. Craig will
currently
take us in.
indisposed.
So the 82-year-old female bodybuilder from Rochester was not the only elderly person to make the news for feats of physical activity.
Yes.
There was an 88-year-old veteran who rescued a girl from a pitbull attack using a lawn ornament.
Yes.
This kind of reeks of badass. I'm not going to lie to you.
It does.
I hate to see an animal go down, but if you're a vicious fucking shitty pit bull,
It was their own dog.
So the
Set
girl
the
that was
table.
being attacked lived next door to the
Yes.
older guy, and her older sister came running over to his house
And banged on the door.
Right. So I'll let you take the story from there because I know you've read it.
So he hears a banging at the door. He opens the door. It's his neighbor, 13-year-old girl, and she's screaming that the dog is attacking her sister. So he runs over there.
Chris
And-
Hansen walks out in the kitchen.
Yeah. He runs over there. He's going to think of Mike's Hot Lemonade, right?
I'll hit the dog with these bottles.
Yeah. No, but on his way over, he grabs a lawn ornament, which was a giant Christmas nutcracker lawn ornament. And he,
appropriate.
right? And he runs into the house, and the dog has got the 10-year-old girl by the upper arm.
Oh, Jesus.
And shaking her. He
Yeah.
said like
Like a doll.
like shaking her like a toy.
She ended up going
And-
right into surgery after this
Yeah.
incident.
Wow.
And what he did was the best is he started hitting he said he hit the dog in the head a couple of times. The dog didn't do nothing. Then he started hitting it in the back, like towards the ribs and stuff. And the dog finally let the girl go, and he pushed the girl like out the door. And
She and her sister
he blocked
took
the
off,
door
yeah.
so the dog would. And he was like in a staring contest with the dog. And the best was he said the way he got out was all he did was he finally looked at the dog and he said no. Like he yelled at the dog like 3 times, and the dog just stood there and stared at him, and he ran out the door and he shut the door.
He went full old guy, just yelled no.
Yeah. Yep.
Stop it.
Yeah. And then he immediately grabbed the girl, ran into his house, and started to bandage, take care of her wounds until the paramedics came. And then he took her, like you said, and she immediately went
Right
into
into
surgery.
surgery.
See, I got 2 schools of thought here. I like pit bulls. I like any animal. I love
Yes.
dogs. We know pit bulls.
Yeah.
Okay, Mike's got a bunch.
I've known many.
I love.
I had one.
A well-trained dog is a well-trained dog.
Yes.
But pit bulls, if you know anything about them, they're kind of a half-breed. They were kind of genetically modified, for lack of a better term. Basically, they were a breed that was not meant to happen. A dog of that size should not have terrier blood in it because it's too energetic and it's too aggressive and it's too this. When you got a tiny little rat dog and he's sitting there biting your ankles, that's one thing. You're not taking out a fucking artery.
Yeah.
But when you got a dog, there's no coincidence that over the last 25 years, almost all of the dog-based attacks in this country have been pitties. And I hate saying this because we do know really good pits.
No, I know.
But
a
you
bunch
need
of-
to raise them the right way.
You need to raise them the right way. And the thing is like this family ended up voluntarily turning the dog over.
dog
They
was
put
put down.
They put the dog down.
How do you
immediately.
not? You
Right.
have to.
But my thing is,
What
and
happened?
I'm not trying to blame the people because I don't know, but the dog wasn't raised the way it should have been raised. It wasn't the fact that dog turned on his own family member. You know what I mean? A family member. And not only that, if the kids were home alone, maybe the kid did something. And I'm not blaming the girl, but the kid.
Sometimes it doesn't take much.
The kid might have done something.
Ask my daughter.
You know.
My daughter got her lip split in half from a fucking terrier
Yeah.
because she cornered it. And
Yeah.
an animal is still an animal. And that's
Yeah.
what we had to remind her. Maggie's like a family member. She's like a pillow.
Yeah.
But you corner her and you try to do something she doesn't want to do, she's going to let you know it.
Yeah.
Now, add 100 pounds to that.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
I mean,
and the dog went past the point of just defending itself. It went to like full attack mode.
It went into attack mode, and that was it. It turned on. It was like click.
and I think that's
The
what
machine
happens with
went on.
pitties. I think there's because I mean I'm not even going to mince it. Mike's dogs are awesome.
Yeah,
Because they're well behaved and they're respectful and they'll play aggressively, but they've never attacked a soul.
no.
Phenomenal dogs, and I love that. And I know he's listening, and I wanted you to know that. My comment about pit bulls isn't about people who take care of their dogs.
No,
it's about people who maybe get a pit bull and then never run it, and then never let it out, never play with it, never do what they.
Let me tell you something. My biggest thing, and I've noticed this a lot. Like when we went to go adopt a dog, a few years ago before we got Taco and Sasha and everything. We went to go and adopt a dog, and every place I went, there was just pit bulls. But they were all like 2 years old, 3, and I'm like, I'm not taking that dog.
You don't know
because I don't know what it's been through, and I don't know how it's been socialized. Not that I didn't want the dog, because I met one that seemed really well, but I just didn't.
You just don't know.
I just didn't know. And my thing is, why is that dog there? And you know why? Because it's the 20-year-old kid. Or the 21-year-old kid, I'm going to get a dog and I'm going to get a pit bull because they're badass.
Yeah.
And they don't treat the dog right, the way it's supposed to be raised. And now the thing becomes a problem. So they can't afford it and they just ignore it, lock it in their house, and the thing wants to just like, I'm going to fucking kill everything here.
Yeah.
When I first moved to Bristol, we had this landlord and he had this dummy son-in-law. I mean, when I say dummy, I mean, he's dumb. Like legit, like you are the Rhodes Scholar in this fucking friendship.
Fuck you.
Honestly, this guy was just a dumb box of hair, and he got a dog just to have it out in the yard all winter long, and he kept it on a chain, and then he would spank it if it growled at us. And I pulled him aside. I said, I don't care how tough you think you are. That animal is only growling because it's suffering. And why would you get a dog to never bring it in?
And it's doing its job, basically.
Yeah.
It's just protecting its territory at this point because that's its whole world.
Yeah.
He slapped 3 pieces of plywood together, called it a doghouse, put a blanket in it arbitrarily, never spent any time with this animal. I'm like, why'd you get a dog?
Yeah.
And then the animal control took it away.
Good.
And they got another one. And his attitude was an animal that doesn't serve isn't like worth having.
But how's it serving you being chained to a fucking box in the backyard?
Barking. He's there for protection.
Yeah. Fuck that.
Just in case somebody robs us in the crime-ridden area of Bristol.
So I can break into his house, and while it's chained up to the fence in the backyard, I can just go in and murder his whole family and leave just because the dog's barking.
I wish they'd murdered him.
What's his address?
Well, right now, based on his intelligence and his hireability, he's homeless.
Yeah.
But he's probably got a dog with him.
But that's the problem with most pit bulls is just because you can get a pit bull. You get a pit bull as a puppy. You can raise that dog to be just like any other dog.
Of course.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I have had Rottweilers my whole life. People say Rottweilers are vicious. Rottweiler, they're fucking powerful.
Oh, yeah.
And they're intimidating.
Yeah, their neck is as thick as their head.
Yeah. How scary is my dog?
Sasha?
No.
Nasty dumps. Nasty dumps.
That's learned behavior.
Well, yeah. And they do have a little bit of German in them.
Yeah.
It's like schnitzel.
And Athena
I noticed they ignore Kia a lot.
Athena was the same way. Athena was a big baby. But I socialized them with a lot of people, bring them to the dog park when they were puppies, and do all that stuff. Because I don't get me wrong, if you came into my house and started manhandling me, the dog's probably going to kill you.
Most dogs will. You know? They will do their best.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is the dog never attacked women?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Just trying to be a part of this.
But you know what? You make a point about it doesn't matter the breed. It doesn't. Like what breed of dog do most police departments and military units use?
German Shepherds.
German Shepherds. They are aggressive, intimidating dogs, but they can be the sweetest dogs in the world.
They have a commanding presence, and I think that's got a lot to do with it.
They do, but at the same time, like they're so well trained when they're on SWAT teams or canine units or whatever. Yeah. That's a perfect example. Actually, it's a perfect dichotomy of you can use this dog's aggression as a tool, as a deterrent, and they can also be well-trained, sweet dogs. It doesn't matter the breed. It's all about the people they're with.
The people they're with. Yeah. Yes, exactly. I mean,
makes sense.
But I mean, what Caesar?
I mean, it seemed like he responded the right way, right?
What?
It seemed like this guy responded the
No,
right
he
way.
did.
He did what he did.
Yeah, he did what he did. What
There's
else could
clearly
you
a
do?
backstory here.
Yeah,
So, I hate to see an animal go down.
yeah.
And especially if it was the owner's fault that the animal turned out this way. But, it's like anything else. Not all animals turn out great.
And like I said, I wasn't blame. It could have been. There's shitty people out there that were raised better than they are. You know what I mean? It's just, I'm sure the same thing with dogs.
Without those people, we don't have a show.
No, but what I'm saying is, so I wasn't trying to necessarily blame the people that owned the dog. I wasn't.
No,
'cause
he
I don't-
handled it.
No, but
you know what I
we
mean?
know the story from when this guy got involved, and that's it.
That's it.
You don't
yeah.
know what led up
What
to.
led up to
yeah, no,
of
that's
him
and that's
shaking the
fair.
kid around the room.
Yeah, that's fair. Right. That poor kid turned into a chew toy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
you don't know
Quick.
why.
Yeah.
It could have been something, like we said, that moment or months leading up to it. So, who knows?
What if the whole time the dog was like, "I'm playing, like this is awesome."
Well, you almost wonder.
You know?
You almost wonder. I mean, you put a slab of beef between 3 pit bulls and watch them play with it.
Yeah.
It gets pretty aggressive in there. I wonder if maybe the kid laid down. Maybe the kid looked prone.
Yeah.
And the dog thought it was a toy. I mean, you got to put yourself in the mind of a dog.
Or just started playing with the kid, like, yeah, and got a little aggressive, grabbed on, and she starts screaming and trying to pull away, and the dog's like, yeah, game on. This is how we play.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And then it just got worse from there, But I think once the blood started shooting around, the dog should have known.
A little too much iron.
Yeah.
That's usually when Rayanne stops, too, when I start bleeding.
But like we mentioned, like this show doesn't happen if we don't have those special people.
Yes.
Right.
And,
Right.
And so let's move away from animals. I feel like we've gotten
Yeah,
enough-
move on
yeah,
from
yeah.
animals and the
And-
greatest generation to what we have now.
what I consider to be a greater generation. Clearly, we're healing faster.
Yeah.
$6 million ain't got nothing on this bitch. I'm gonna read this headline. Mum, because it's not from here.
Yes.
Mum credits pole dancing for getting back to normal just 3 days after giving birth at home. I mean, we're not even talking like kegels. She's like flat out like, I'm working that pole. I got Windex at the ready. And now my uterus is phenomenal. I spit one out like a log flume, and here's another one.
Here's another one.
Back to
Yeah.
normal. Every stripper I've ever met has done the same thing. They're not in the news.
Yeah.
No,
Like,
there's-
shit a kid out in the dancing that weekend.
Yeah.
Like, she had a loose, flappy vag before this. Let's be honest.
He went to Mario's. I think some fell right on the stage. He was here crying. Guy run out with the blanket, scoop it up, and move on. Scissors and a blanket. Fucking.
This woman can spin around the pole without using her thighs.
She's actually trained those muscles. I always wonder why it was so warm in those places. It's because when they turn the fans on, it just sounds like... like a bunch of birds flying away in unison.
So, yeah, she said that right after she started pole dancing, I guess she was pole dancing right up until she was...
Days before.
Days before she had the baby.
Well, it's theme nights, huh?
Yeah.
And this was her third kid, too, I think.
Yeah. Of course it was.
Yeah.
What the fuck does that pole look like? It's got like a big S-curve in it.
I was thinking there were 3 different poles, all different colors.
Yeah.
Ma'am, that's not a pole. That's a fucking support girder.
Yeah.
It's a fucking T-bar.
Oh, shit.
She tore it up from the rivets.
Husband's got 2 car jacks on either side of it to hold the ceiling up.
So the best was, now this woman, we're making these jokes. This is set up in her home,
Not just in her home.
in the kids' playroom.
Yeah.
There's a photo of her doing some weird pole dance move with the
belly.
With the belly. I guess this was before she had the kid. And I'm looking behind her and I'm like, wait a minute. It's a fucking playroom. there's like
a toy chest in the back.
A toy chest, a little chalkboard, like in some like a car that you'd sit on, and one of those little play vacuums. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
3-year-old counting ones that back there.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I'll cut a bitch.
Yeah.
Dad's sitting behind a wall that's 2 feet tall.
Yeah.
There's a 2-way mirror on the playroom.
Go over there, offer you a beer, then charge you $9.
The new Fisher Price Stack and Spank.
Yeah.
Slap and spell.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, dude! The best part is that all of their kids that grow up in that house all want to be firemen, and they can't explain why.
They get to the firehouse, they hit the bottom and do like a pirouette. And everyone's like, what the fuck? You're supposed to put your fire suit on before you get down here, Kevin. What are you doing? Slides out all seductively and sprays himself with a hose.
Let's go to work. Sprays down the pole from the fucking snail smear that's up there.
The pole looks like it's been covered in Crisco. Kevin, you know those kids are named like Destiny or Cadillac or fucking
Sky.
Beth or something,
Yeah,
something slutty.
Beth.
Beth from. Look at all these stripper names, and then a very normal American name. Where did that? My sister-in-law used to go by Beth.
Did she?
Yes, she did.
Oh.
Until assholes like you ruined it for her. Because apparently in Pittsburgh, she got lumped in with the Destinies and
Cadillacs.
Mercedes.
What kind of strip clubs did you go to?
I lived in Buffalo for 3 years.
Every stripper you saw had "la" at the front of her name. And a bunch of apostrophes.
Oh my god.
I don't know if we can be serious for a minute, but
I don't want to.
no, it's almost. Never mind.
I was about to mention Crystal Kegel.
Okay, I'm good with that.
I don't know if you noticed this, but since we've come to Dave's house, we have used the term labia a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very vaginal here.
I'm sorry, Dave. You had a serious point to make.
No, all I can think of is not wearing the flap cave.
I would go to that strip club. What's the cover? The giant labia cover.
Queefs.
Don't even name it that. Just
Yeah.
All the fans are blowing out the windows instead of moving.
everybody in line has got their hair blown. They look like that Maxell cassette commercial. You get in there, calm.
Yeah. Welcome to the stage.
They got like 3 chicks up front with like those fireplace things you saw in the cartoons. Just fan flames. I don't even know what they're called.
Bellows.
Labia bellows. One night only.
One night only. Tonight, Sky Bellows. Like,
Then when the bachelor party of all black dudes leaves, the air pressure drops 7% in there.
They don't bring black guys in because their hair don't blow seductively in the wind. Unless you're like Prince in 78. But other than that,
oh my God.
a big shout out to the True Story Bro podcast. Thanks for checking in.
Yeah.
They all step outside together to get a reception. Is that what it was? Echo Ninja's earning his name tonight.
Yeah.
You know, I can't wait till they come back to stab us.
Yeah.
They seem so fucking cool.
I can't wait to do a show with those guys.
Oh, I can't wait.
I'm dying to do
This
a show
would have been
with
a great topic for that. We would have been talking strip clubs for an hour and a half.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Not that we're assuming you go there, but we know you go there.
Oh, shit.
All right, enough about real women.
But anyway, speaking of pole dances,
Wow.
this next headline was ridiculous. Aussie trans athlete Hannah Muncie, how would you pronounce that?
I would say Mouncy, and
Mouncy.
I feel bad for C because if this thing is mounting it.
I would pronounce it manna, but go ahead.
She towers above opponents. Now, this woman,
Athlete. Let's go with athlete.
is 6 foot 250.
6'2".
She's 6'2", 250.
Because 6'250" would have been feminine.
That's a huge bitch.
Yeah. And people are complaining because she's just dominating the league. And what are they playing? What's that fucking
Rugby.
It's
Rugby, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
It ain't fucking ice dancing, I can tell you that.
It says Women's Handball League, but
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure
handball
that's
league.
rugby.
No, she plays in a handball league, but then she's also playing rugby.
She's also
Okay,
playing
all right,
rugby
that's what it
too.
is. Yep.
I was watching the video of her in the handball league throwing the ball into the net like a fucking. It was insane.
Like a man throwing against a bunch of girls.
Oh, the fucking goalie, the fucking goalie. Every time you would throw it, the goalie would clinch up and squeeze her eyes. Like, no. He's throwing fucking rockets that would scare me. You know? Fucking, and there's some little girl standing in the net, like fucking terrified.
This bra strap is uncomfortable.
Yeah. And then just
Get down.
and they're both that and rugby. I mean, unbelievably physical sports.
Yes.
And she's playing against girls that are what?
They're
fucking
not girls.
5'2".
They're women. And
Is
she
it?
is not.
I thought it was a high school.
No, I'm pretty sure she's a semi-pro.
Oh, semi-pro league. All
Either way, like,
So
Does
still-
it matter? She's
No.
6'2", 250.
Yeah, what I'm getting
She's like
at is
Dave's thigh.
These other women are roughly 5'4", maybe 5'6",
Probably half the weight.
130 pounds.
and not just that. Like, men physically are built differently.
Yes.
There's no argument there. I'm not saying this person identifies with whatever. Listen, they were genetically born a man,
Yes.
and there are differences in physical characteristics. Men tend to be bigger, bulkier, more muscular.
That Y chromosome does things.
Yeah.
There's a reason for it.
And that's just it. And it was to procreate the species. If you identify a certain way, we are all for that. And I'll drink to them in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
identifying as who you want. Don't kick the shit out of my daughter.
Unless you identify with a seahorse where the men give birth,
Yeah.
you're wrong.
Yeah.
Like, you're not. Every other species on the planet is separated this way for a reason.
And there are some sports where maybe it's like style based. Like maybe it's a figure skating thing.
Yeah.
Maybe at that point
Something like that,
being
yeah.
being genetically male might be a disadvantage, and if you overcome that, then good on you.
Good on you. Yeah.
Good on you. You look terrible in that spandex with the bulge. But that aside, okay, when you're playing rugby and you're 6'2", 250,
Yeah.
you're taking women out with elbows the size of fucking
Fucking
Easter
aggressive.
hams.
when it's a sport built on brute force,
Yeah.
you're going to overpower them simply because of nature.
And granted, you know what? But I guess her biggest argument was that just because of size goes into a dangerous territory, because there are women that are fucking 6'2" and 250.
I agree with that, but that's not the only factor.
No, it's not.
It's not.
It's not.
I'm going out on a limb, but is it the presence of testicles? I mean, I'm all for equality, but I got a real problem when she scored and then her first dance was to whip out her dick and do dick tricks with it. I didn't think the flying squirrel was an appropriate way to ingratiate yourself to the new audience.
The first windmill celebration in women's rugby history.
She literally grabs her balls and does grape, raisin, grape, raisin, grape. the banana slug. She has to go find a sliding glass door.
Yeah.
I know what you're thinking, Brad. You're describing your college career. Maybe I am. But that's besides the point. I didn't go to a good school. I went to Maryland.
I think the opposing team coaches should just tell them to go for the Adam's apple. Just fucking till she takes a shot in the Adam's apple. It's over.
I feel bad for her on night games because the shadow.
Yeah. But let's get one thing. First off, it's ma'am.
That's right. Ma'am.
I do appreciate that she's going to represent Kotex and have a handlebar mustache at the same time.
Yeah.
I hemorrhage every month.
No.
It's ridiculous. We've talked about this in the show. I'm very open to this stuff. It doesn't bother me.
No, it doesn't bother me at all.
Doesn't bother me.
If you want to identify that way, you want to dress that way, you want to do what you want to do, it's your fucking body. It's your life. It's your decision. Do what you want. Whatever makes you comfortable.
But you also have to understand, if you decide to do this, it may not be fair or right to participate in certain things.
Yes.
You know, and if
you have to take you
flip
have to
it
take
the other
that
way.
into account.
There are no women in the NFL. Could there be? Maybe.
I'm sure there could.
I think this one.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
I'd put her on the Bengals right now. Fuck Joe Mixon.
I think that's play number 2 in her book.
Yeah.
What? Fuck Joe Mixon?
Yes. That's right.
But yeah, I mean, you have to take.
She just grabs his head, shoves it between her legs. First down.
Yeah. Oh my god.
The whole thing is just fucking silly.
I mean, I got a daughter. I don't need somebody who suddenly identifies as a woman to be playing fucking field hockey with her and drilling her
Into the boards,
with a hairy arm shot to the fucking neck.
Yeah.
Because you suddenly identify this way. I'm all for equality. I really am. But there are physical limitations to everything.
Yes.
And you said it. There's some sports where it may not be as much of a factor. Like the first thing that came to mind was tennis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't see a huge advantage or disadvantage one way or the
Well,
other.
strength, I mean, there is a strength advantage.
But
to
not
some of it.
enough. I don't think, to me, it's less obvious or impactful on the game.
It is, but
golf would be another one.
Golf, yeah, anything where you're competing against yourself
But, like,
or
right
an
now-
inanimate object.
Bowling,
Bowling.
darts,
Yeah.
pole dancing.
Yeah.
When she actually ties her nutsack around the pole, that's a clear advantage.
Curling.
She's just brooming the shit out of that.
Sagging, shrinking, curling.
It is just fucking. It's rough.
It's more
It's
so
tough.
that this person's putting the other athletes not just at a disadvantage,
But at risk.
Yes,
of
that's
injury.
the bigger issue.
Yeah.
At least in my mind, it's unfair just because of physical interactions.
Let's take gender out of it. I just saw a video last week where there was a sixth grader who happened to be 6'1"
Yes.
and 200 some odd pounds.
Okay.
And he's at grade level, he's playing like junior high school football. This kid was literally dragging 6 other children with him. In my opinion, that's the same argument. If that kid is that big, bring him up to JV, teach him how to play the game on the high school level, and make sure he's doing his homework to get there. But that kid should not be playing junior high school football if you're 6'1", 250 at 12 years old.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not a gender thing. There's a size advantage. But if you want to make this a gender thing, yes, this person outweighs everybody else on your team combined.
But that's what I was saying. It's more of an advantage, disadvantage, sometimes even a safety issue. Even if you can look at basketball, wouldn't be a big issue.
When I played in around here, we call it midgets football, right? Like you had peewees, junior midgets. That was
Flashing back to Buffalo. Go ahead.
And that was and that was
Pee-wee,
like,
midgets. Yes, Friday night.
that was everything before school football. You know what I mean? Like it was
Yeah.
the young kid, but it was all weight. It was done by weight.
It was physical requirements because it's a physical game.
Yeah. If you were 140 pounds, you weren't playing peewees. Didn't matter how old you were.
Mm-hmm.
You were gonna play. You were going up to the next one. and it was kind of size based. They matched you up. You know what I mean? Then when
Would
you
you
got
play
to,
junior peewee your whole life?
No, I actually
16 years old?
I actually never even played Pee Wee.
Just wait for the can to pop.
Yeah. I never actually played Pee Wee. I played one season of junior midget and then played midgets because I was already big at that time. That was the thing, is I kind of just stopped growing. You know, I was bigger than the kids when at my age
who
first
knew?
started playing. And then I just stopped growing.
How old were you? What was the age?
I started playing, I was 10.
All right.
So when I was 10, I was playing in junior midgets, and I probably weighed about 140.
So you were one of those kids that like grew early and quick,
And that,
and that was it.
Yeah.
I had a couple friends like that. I was like 4th, 5th grade. I'm like, what the fuck?
By the time I got to high school,
You hadn't grown
I
an
was,
inch.
I was like the same size as everybody else in high school, and then as we progressed through high school, everybody got bigger
passed
than
you.
me. Yeah, you know, and I was like, "Fuck."
Is that where your eating habits came from? You're like, I'm gonna catch up to these
'Cause
motherfuckers.
I played offensive line
No, you didn't.
all the way until my junior year of high
my
school. Yeah,
It was
yeah.
junior neck double team everybody.
yep, yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. So it was, you know what I mean. So that was just funny,
No
like that.
shit.
But that was the thing. Like I said, it was size based.
Which makes sense.
That's. I mean, look at all the way up to collegiate wrestling. It's weight based.
Yeah.
You're not gonna fucking go out there and wrestle a 250 guy isn't gonna wrestle somebody that weighs 140.
No. Nope.
The guy's just gonna fucking manhandle him and crush him.
Even professional fighting now. There's weight classes.
There's weight classes.
You get to a point where it's like 205 plus.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yes. Yep.
But at some point, everything else, those physical sports are segmented by physical stature.
By physical stature.
And this shouldn't be any different. Like it's not about this individual and what's happening to them. It's about what this individual can do to everybody else.
Yeah.
That's my only issue. I don't care who it is, what they come from, what they identify. I don't fucking care.
And if you look at the still shots, like in the clip, she's like fucking just like crushing people.
Yeah.
You see the people like bending in half and falling over.
Right. Right. It looks like she should be this athlete, should be moonlighting at Nakatomi Tower. You know what I mean? Like
I love when I take a break and come back to Nakatomi Tower references.
Fucking Hans.
yeah. But that's like this is a big person. Like
Yeah.
physically imposing.
Yeah.
Like 6'2", 250, like that's intimidating to any one of the three of us.
She would run through this fucking room like a freight train.
Right. Right.
You know, it would, like fucking unstopped, like rah!
Yeah.
Like at the
Like
outside.
last night's dinner did to me about 9:30 this morning.
Yeah.
Cracked porcelain and everything.
Did you sit down again?
Kid, it was like a fucking corn machine gun in my bathroom this morning.
Rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat, cancer.
Oh god.
I can't wait to see the team calendar for this behemoth though, because she's summer. Like, everybody else gets a month.
Yeah, she's summer.
Glistening at her finest.
The centerfold. It's like 9 pages. You fucking flop the thing out like a fucking gas station map.
It's like Jim Carrey when he was on In Living Color and he used to do that bodybuilder where she had like the tiny bikini top on and shit. You remember that?
Yes, yeah.
What the fuck was that character's name? Do you
I
guys
don't remember, but it's more folds than the H quill. That's all I know. And which actually serves as a really good transition to the next topic.
Yeah. Transition.
So I would really love to take it. Transition being the operative word.
Yeah.
Operative. Holy shit, that wasn't intended.
Yeah.
Transition right to operative.
Yep. Yeah.
All right, let's go post-op. All right. Dave, you want to read this one or you want me to take it?
You take it. You haven't read one in a while.
Well, I know you have trouble saying this word, but QWERTY lists what you stand to lose by avoiding sex with people who have HIV. I'll repeat this because it didn't hit me the first time
It
either.
took me a
Yeah.
few times to process this, yeah.
Okay, there's a media outlet called QWERTY,
Yes.
and they listed what you stand to lose by avoiding sex with people who have HIV.
That's like 2 double negatives.
Yeah.
Well, that's the only way they were going to get people to read further.
That's the only way you get a positive.
I disagree. But do you mean a positive test or a positive feeling leaving the doctor? 2 different things. I always hated that, though. You're like, oh, you tested positive. And you're like, yay. Oh,
yeah. Hey, no, that's the one test you want to fail.
Oh, you passed with flying colors. So I guess this just kind of opens up the discussion. They're basically telling people that, you should have safe sex with people who have HIV because you might be missing out on some mind-blowing sex.
Yeah.
And that's it.
The ridiculous thing is there's a quote.
Yep.
From the author of the article wrote, "The sex is mind-blowing. It helps that Todd's around 20% top and 80% bottom, and Carl's the opposite. They just click." Yeah, like Legos. That wasn't in the quote. I just threw that.
So they just plug in.
They make that ridiculously cute couple that others envy. Hudson was the writer. He writes, that was the author's name. Except it never happened. Like he's saying, because
he had HIV.
Because he had HIV, the relationship didn't go forward. The person was like, oh, well, no, I don't want to do that, And I was like, I get it. I met this girl once, and, we clicked, and she had Ebola. And I was like, I should have just went for it. What the fuck?
If you're a yin, you might find your soon-to-be-dead yang.
Yeah.
What are you losing out on if you avoid sex? Someone else's pension?
Yeah.
I was thinking those pesky last 45 years of life.
Yeah. My first thought was like old age, health.
The chance to meet Magic Johnson.
Lesionless skin.
You never have to make plans too far in advance.
Does anybody stop and think about the sex might be mind-blowing with somebody who has AIDS because they're literally saying, I have nothing else to lose?
Yeah. Or they've just had so much of it that they got AIDS.
Yeah, I think I wrote that. It was like experience.
Yeah.
I definitely know what I'm doing because I did it all up and down the Sunset Strip for most of 85.
The funny thing is it's awful to think that, but you have a contagious disease. Granted, people are living a lot longer now. There's a lot more treatments and stuff. But the chance that you could give it to somebody else, that right there in itself should make you not want to do that. And I feel bad that, yes, they have to miss out on that. But guess what?
In my opinion, I think the best sex would be finding somebody else with HIV and then just going fucking hog wild.
Yeah.
Literally just bareback, raw dogging.
Fucking shooting it in his fucking face.
Fucking
smashing. Yeah, just fucking hard. Spitting it on everything. Fucking blood. Who gives a fuck?
Punching. Get a porcupine involved. Doesn't fucking matter.
Fucking matter.
This cactus will fit. Fucking take it. What are you going to do? Get HIV? Too late.
Yeah, that's the mind-blowing stuff. Yeah.
Imagine that's how The Walking Dead started. Fucking AIDS orgy.
Yeah.
That's it. They're not all dead. They're just exhausted.
Ground Zero was a splash over from a sex party.
That would be so great. Look at the walkers now. They're just coming from Queerty's party. Yeah. By the way, you want to be taken seriously as a journalism outlet, Queerty isn't the way to go.
Yeah,
there is some noble intent with the article.
No, I get.
Leave it to Dave to find the noble intent in this one.
Yeah. To try to get people past that stigma of
not being able to have contact with these people.
When AIDS was first broke out, it was fucking terrifying. There was no cure for it. It was. So there's a big stigma.
There's still no cure for it,
right? Yeah. but people with AIDS that contract it now can live a lot longer,
and
healthier
live
than they could have
normal
30 years ago.
You can still live you're not going to get run out of the local restaurant like they did before. They were like, oh, that motherfucker's got. They run you out of the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Back then.
Yeah. Like, I'm sorry, we're letting the black people move into that house.
Yeah. Oh. It was true, though. I mean, these people were taking, like, hospitals didn't want them. Hospitals weren't taking, like, well, we don't want them here. You know?
Well, when you don't know about a disease and it's spread, like, I can kind of get that. So I get, at some point in the heart of this, there was some intent to get past the stigma.
Then it was, there was also...
It was the wrong outlet and the wrong headline.
Oh, the wrong outlet is usually where the problem starts.
Depends on your perspective. If you're
but
plugging
Dave, I got to hand it to you, though, Dave. That was pretty sage, inspiring wisdom from a guy who described his own anus as a corn machine gun not minutes ago.
Hey, I didn't say corn target.
Nothing better. You know, it's not a coincidence that the More You Know logo from NBC is also done up in a rainbow. Really well done. You really are an inspiration to us all, or at least to us most.
Between that and the porcelain, it sounded like a popcorn vendor at the circus. I'm sorry,
but I mean, there's so many. Like I said, as a. Took me a second.
I just imagine Thanksgiving at Dave's. It's
like a BB gun shooting range.
Ding, ding.
Buys toilets. Yes. How's the ricochet? There's a whole lot of ricochet action on there.
Oh my God.
Go ahead.
You go ahead. I forgot what I was going to say. No, but I mean, I get it's sad somebody's got, because not everybody got it from being careless or anything. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't
just a gay anal sex disease.
Yeah,
turns out.
And there's a lot of people that got
everybody anal sex disease.
Yeah. But so I get it sucks. So now you're, you can't have that relationship. I mean, you can,
but I mean,
can't, but still.
A lot of the stigma that they're trying to remove here has already been removed. Yeah. They're selling not over the counter, but I mean, prescription drugs you can get pretty easily, something called PrEP.
Yeah.
Where it basically reduces your chance of getting HIV in case you screw up.
Yeah.
They're telling you in the commercial, wear condoms, but in case you don't, we got your back. It's under control.
Got your back.
We got your bareback. Yeah. It's under control, folks. It's a threat, but it's not. It's not the epidemic it was.
No.
It is not killing people by the legions, and people who have HIV are living very full.
Killing people by the legions. Yeah. Legions.
Legions.
Sorry.
Legion. I'm sorry, I pulled a Craig there.
You did.
I got to pronounce my letters in American English. But anyway, so I think it's a noble cause, like Dave mentioned, but not nearly the follow through that they should have.
Yeah, they came about it in the wrong way, I think.
About it, huh?
Yeah. Right in the mouth.
Right on the unfortunate, regrettable tattoo. Nobody needs a Taz there.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
All right. You know what? The next subject kind of sucks. So I say we jump right to the roundup, folks.
All right.
Can we do that?
We sure?
I don't know where we are on time, but I really don't give a fuck. I know that the next subject sucks. So let's get local.
Well, it does, because we didn't have anything for it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Like
it would get edited anyway.
Yeah, one line apiece. Let's save ourselves the trouble. Let's save Greg the fucking disk space. Something big did happen around here. We live in and around the Providence area. We're especially close right now at Dave's house in East Providence. We're a hop, skip, and a jump from Pawtucket, which has long served as the minor league home of the Pawtucket Red Sox, AAA affiliate of the Boston Red Sox, and a beloved place to go around here in its own right because it really is a cheap night out. I've taken my family there. I know everybody here has visited McCoy Field, McCoy Stadium.
McCoy Stadium. It's about 2.5 miles from here, 3 miles from here.
Yeah, it's not that far, and it is very family friendly. Oh, shit.
You
I've been sitting way too close to Greg.
I was going to say, that HIV works faster than I thought. Can you spell HIV? Anywho, the beloved Pawtucket Red Sox are moving about an hour northwest of here to Worcester, which is a equally depressing industrial town. Might be closer to Boston as the crow flies, but nobody wants to go there.
No.
But Worcester, they decided instead of leaving as the Paw Sox, which we've known for 80 years, they decided they're going to change the name, and they went after years and years of planning with the Woo Sox.
Woo Sox. I was like, what? And the fucking the logo is a fucking smiley face with a baseball bat.
Yeah. It looks like an emoji.
It looks, yeah. It should have been like the logo for an arcade in 1987. Yeah. It's fucking awful.
This would be the first example of people getting promoted from AA going to AAA and asking for their release.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't ever want a Woo Sox jersey in my fucking arsenal.
No.
But because we're needless to say.
Well, unless your mascot is Ric Flair, this is not okay.
Yeah.
I would play for the Woo
You'd have to add about 13 O's to this, but
But I think they're going for Worcester.
I think that's what it is.
It's like the Woo Sox.
And they were trying to play it off like, woo, Sox. Like, yeah.
But it's not. I think it's the
fucking
Woo
awful.
Sox because nobody says Worcester.
No.
It's Worcester.
Worcester. Yeah.
I even say it, and I don't agree with it.
Yeah.
But I think it's crazy to me that they went and just uprooted so much history.
It's weird. It's like I don't really care. Like it didn't affect me. I've gone to the Pawtucket Red Sox. Of course I have. I've lived here all my life. But I was like, okay. So you took the shitty players from professional baseball,
Or up and coming. Come on.
or up and coming, but nobody cares. Nobody,
I disagree
It's
with
a fun day out.
I disagree with that. There was a big fight over this. They were going to move it to Providence, and that became a problem. And they said, well, if you don't want it in Providence 4 miles away, well, fuck it. Now we're 40.
Yeah.
What would have been some better nicknames for the new Red Sox minor league team?
No turn signal Sox.
Okay. Yeah. I can get behind that. Dave, what do you got?
I was thinking, knowing Worcester, the Stabby Sox.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Worcester's one of those towns that's up and coming for the last 80 years.
Yeah.
They're in the middle
It's
of a
up and going.
They've been up and coming on the FBI's crime statistics list.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a little bit up and chucking, is what it is. Kind of like dinner with Carrie and Cass last week, but that's another stuff. I was thinking it'd be great just to name them the Baked Beaners. And if you're Mexican and take offense to that, good, you're catching on.
And cracked iPhone screen Sox.
I'm just sticking with what I know about Worcester, the meth crackers.
Nice.
Yep. Yeah.
I went a little deeper and got into the history of Worcester, and I thought the filthy black Irishman.
The name of any team here for the last 100 years.
Almost Boston Sox.
Fair enough.
How about the Worcester Parolees?
Nice. I followed up with that with the repeat domestics.
My dad once robbed an Car Sox.
Last one I thought was the Hep C Sox.
Agreed. Agreed. There is a lot of that. And I think there's nothing better than supporting and throwing your love and buying a pennant for the Worcester Trade School dropouts.
Stupid Woo Sox.
Yeah.
Woo! Oh, it was awful.
Oh, that is...
They should have just left the paw in there and just go pawn shop. Because there's one like down every corner.
The Pawn Sox.
Yeah, the pawns.
The paw and hungry.
Yeah.
Just do the regular Red Sox logo with like a tag hanging off, like a price tag.
I swear this ain't stolen socks.
Just some little Dominican kid in an oversized jersey and call him Little Poppy.
Unless you're Dominican, then you call him son.
Welcome to Worcester, where everyone's named Pedro Martinez. And they all smell like the oil can.
Oh my god.
All right, so I guess we should get into a little housekeeping. Dave, did you have anything else this week?
I don't have anything else, I don't think.
All right, well, wait a minute.
Shit.
Wait a minute. Something happened at the beginning of this episode. Craig told us something.
He did.
He did.
What?
When's your birthday, Craig?
Next week.
No, you're wrong. It's fucking tonight.
It's right now.
Fucking douchebags.
We want everyone to enjoy this moment for your birthday, not after it.
I want you to enjoy this with a pile of fading leftovers, kind of like we look at Craig every week.
You fucking motherfuckers.
I closed out the last one. Dave, do you want me to take lead on this one?
You can take lead. Go
All
right
right.
ahead.
So, it's funny. The last time I did a roast of Craig or Dave or Mike or anybody, it's really been always about the look. So I really wanted to go deeper this time. I feel like most roasts are based on obvious things. So this time I planned on digging a little deeper and letting people get to know Craig just a little bit better.
It's like opposed to what you normally do.
Turn his mic off. Shut up.
But honestly, for all of the shit that we say about you, I feel like a lot of people don't really know you. You don't let people know you. You're kind of guarded. And, for all those people who don't know you, I'm kind of jealous of all of them. So I don't know why I'm roasting you, because I prefer my vegetables steamed. But the truth is, it's kind of hard to get past your appearance. I mean, you look like you should always get really close parking spots. So despite my best intentions, let's just focus on your deformed face and see where it takes us. I was thinking a lot about this week, and I realized you have a good face for finding truffles. The back of your neck looks like a feminist armpit. And your haircut looks like it should be between a lunch lady's thighs. I look at you and wonder constantly, how is it possible that you look like a sex offender and his victim at the same time? I also been wondering where you've been living since the Cathedral of Notre Dame burned down. Privately, Dave and I both call you Challenger because you're a tragedy that could have been solved with a higher quality rubber. Now, all joking aside, Craig did something big for us a couple weeks ago. Craig did us a favor and watched our kids for an entire afternoon. We're not talking like an hour here. He spent the afternoon with my god-awful children. But now my kids call you Nanny McFetal Alcohol Syndrome. Even though you were good with my kids, a recent study determined that more Make-A-Wish kids would rather meet death than you. In a related study, more women would rather have ovarian cysts inside them than Craig's dick. I think it's funny that you're the one who likes bad movies since Fran reenacts the crying game every time you touch it. And I hope your next car is a Prius, so both you and your wife can benefit from battery power. Every time she looks at your face, Fran wishes she had sleep paralysis. Okay. You know what? We're trashing Craig. Craig is our podcasting messiah, our tech guy, everything. But unlike Jesus, no one's nailing you. Maybe a Jesus joke was a little low, but Craig is secretly obsessed with guys named Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. And ever since seeing him in the incubator, his mother still wishes she was a virgin. Oh my God. Okay, now this is where I just go off.
Okay.
Craig regularly Googles nasty beaver and ends up with his dental records. The only thing in the world that would see your crotch and come back for seconds is testicular cancer. You look like what happens when abandoned jizz socks become self-aware. I mean, seriously, Lieutenant Dan made better use of socks than you did. If you were in the military, your family would spend every Christmas praying they get a folded flag. You're growing out your beard just to get preteens to sit on you during the holidays. You're modeling your life after Eminem because your chances of living past 48 are both slim and shady. Dave is dying here. But Craig, your doctor probably says the word terminal as much as Dave says the word morbidly. Even though you love Christmas, your favorite day ever was when you found out that bukkake won't affect your lactose intolerance. The only thing that came across your face more frequently was acne and your uncle. Let's clean it up a bit. You look like the only white employee at a Chinese restaurant. You look like you roofie yourself at gay bars. Your parents did a gender reveal party with a magic 8-ball. If you had your own reality show, it would be called America's Next Top Bottom. You look like you bought a full gender reassignment on Wish.com. You make Target want to introduce a fourth type of bathroom. And because of you, we need to change it to LGBTQ-. The bump in your neck is actually braille that tell blind women you're ugly too. And I think it's ironic that your only Tinder match looks like someone who invented fire. You smell like you wipe back to front. No, stop laughing. I can smell Mike's cock.
Oh, my God.
You look like someone made a deepfake video of a homeless guy's weeping asshole. And if Epstein did kill himself, it's because of your fucking face.
Oh, my God.
All right. I got to wrap this up. Maybe if this roast was a little one-dimensional. And I'll try harder next year to focus on things like your rapist voice and your complete lack of personality. But sometimes the low-hanging fruit is just the sweetest. Craig, we absolutely fucking love you, man. And while your birthday might be 12/8, your face will always be 9/11. And I'm done.
That's excellent. Oh, my God. Oh, that's so... God damn. That's funny you said that, because his birthday is 3 months after 9/11. It's also the day after Pearl Harbor Day, making it the anniversary of the single biggest bombing on American soil in history. I mean, Craig's the kind of guy that you want to hang out with, but you don't want anyone else to know that you hung out with him. He's like that fat chick in high school you let blow you in the corner of the locker room, but didn't really tell your friends about because you're embarrassed. So Craig's spirit animal is a northern gay wolf. I'm sorry, that was a little insensitive to the wolf. It's actually the northern gray wolf's shit. A pile of shit is your spirit animal.
I wish you could see Dave's face. There's so much anger in his eyes.
So, neighborhood kids regularly toilet paper Craig's truck because it too is a piece of shit. Which means if Craig's truck is a piece of shit, that makes him the 2-day-old kernel of corn that was so useless when he was pushed back out of society's anus. And honestly, he looks better after the shit. I'm sorry, that's not right. Most people like corn. Another fun fact about Craig that we've learned is he's a Minnesota Vikings fan because as a kid he thought they were actual Vikings. Which explains why his wife keeps finding blow pops in his underwear.
I'm dying too.
Craig's taste in movies are so bad that Alan Baugh was insulted that he liked one of his movies. Craig's flatulence is so awful that you could use Cardi B's thong as a face mask and not even notice. Craig once emptied a room with his stench, then he farted. The last time Craig ripped ass at Brad's house, the property value dropped 13%. The only thing worse than his stink is his face. I mean, honestly, he looks worse than Chester Bennington's rigor mortis face. I mean, looking at you makes me understand why we have suicide prevention hotlines. Craig could pass as the love child from the drunken, drooly encounter between Rocky Dennis and Terry Schiavo.
Holy fuck. Oh my god.
Craig smoked so many butts he was once propositioned by Liberace. He sounds like Carol Channing taking a load from the Fantastic Four's The Thing. His lungs wheeze like Michael Hutchins having sex with himself. I mean, honestly, Craig's laugh sounds like Chris Cornell hitting his last high rubber hose note. At his last checkup, Craig's doctor recommended he smoke more each day because, well, why drag this out any longer? His glasses are so thick, they make 55-year-old pedophiles look cool. If those glasses were made of crystal and silver, they'd still be worthless on your piece of shit face. These glasses make him look like the kind of lesbian that Rosie O'Donnell jerks off to on a Tuesday night while eating a bologna sandwich. Now on to the obvious. Craig has a skin tag on his neck that looks like a Frank Stallone wax figure that was left in the sun 10 minutes too long. Yeah, I said Frank Stallone. Even his physical deformities are discount. That thing is so big it should be called a skin bag. Craig's neck thing looks like the stunt double for Brigitte Nielsen's nipples. And all kidding aside, Craig's a great guy. He'd give you the shirt off his back if you needed it, which is really no different than a monkey throwing its own shit at you, but it's the thought that counts. Happy birthday, you asshole. You deserve all of this.
Yes, I do.
In the fucking middle.
Fuck you, and I love you. That was awesome, man.
It took 2 years, but we finally got this roast thing right. Thank you for providing the material week in and week out.
Yes.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah. Now, we do have
my
someone
God.
that did want to wish you a happy birthday. They couldn't be here, though.
Hey, Craig, this is Ron from Birdemic. Happy birthday, buddy.
Ladies and
the
gentlemen,
fuck outta here.
in case you haven't taken part in Birdemic yet, and, you know, based on our review, you should have, that was Alan Baugh.
Alan Baugh.
Get the fuck out of here.
Just for you, pal.
Look at the gentleman right to my left. He took care of all of this. We were bouncing around ideas to get a video like we did for Dave.
Yeah.
And this one didn't cost us anything. No, Alan Baugh was a great sport. He did it in character because he knew you were such a fan of the movie. And he did that driving. This whole correspondence happened while driving.
Really?
Yeah?
And he responded. He's been liking and checking out a lot of the things we're doing on Instagram, so he clearly knows who we are. I don't know if he's checked this out or not. Alan, I know we've taken some shots, but we want to thank you in the middle. Can we get another toast?
Yes, Alan Baugh, thank you for wishing out my friend Craig.
Alan Baugh.
I'm fucking in shock right now. That's fucking awesome. I'm fucking psyched.
I know you would be.
That is fucking awesome.
You met Stanley minutes before he died, and yet your arm hair is standing up on end right now. But for all the ball busting we do, I do think we need to throw a shout to Alan Baugh. Thank you for getting
Absolutely.
it. Thank you for getting it.
Yep.
That is awesome.
We take
man.
shots at everybody, including each other, and especially each other. And Craig, I didn't say it earlier because I was too busy telling you had like weird diseases and shit. But happy birthday, motherfucker.
Happy birthday,
Thanks, man.
motherfucker.
Thanks, guys. I guess.
You looking forward to your 61st?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Social Security next year.
That's fucking awesome, man. That is so awesome.
Just for you, my friend.
Oh, that was fucking killer, man. Back to back. You just never stop. It just never stopped. You got owned.
Yes, you did.
Oh yeah, no, that
I'm
was painful.
Damn proud to be a part of it.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it was fucking funny.
Yeah. Just so you know, that ding was I just sent that video to the two of you, so you have it now.
All right, nice,
Awesome. Thank you. We'll
Thank
share
you.
that on social too. Unless he actually did legally change his name to Rob from Birdemic.
Which would be just as cool.
That's awesome. No, that's awesome.
It's like Dutch. Rob from Birdemic. All right, you want to do a little housekeeping?
Let's clean it up as
All
much as
right.
we can.
yeah.
All right, so if you want to go to the HIV support group, you want to go to www.
Just give him my address.
That's right. And Transgender Linebacker Association will be meeting here next week. In the meantime, you can check us out on social media. Get us on Twitter at NTS_podcast, on Facebook at NTS_podcast, and on Instagram at all lowercase needless to say podcast. You can buy our merchandise, which doesn't include any of the jokes you heard tonight, over at represent.com/store/NTS podcast. And then also check us out over on Endeavor Podcast Solutions, who now feature us as one of their main podcasts. Craig,
Nice.
take it, would you please?
Endeavor Podcast Solutions. Whether you want to start a podcast, you already have one, you just need a little help, little direction with sound quality, editing, anything. Go to them; they'll take care of it at EndeavorPodcastSolutions.com.
That's as close to English as you'll get from Craig.
Sorry, I'm just like still like I can't. My head's fucking going because that was funny as fuck, man.
I tried to buy the domain name stutteringHump.com this week, but sadly somebody owns it and you wouldn't believe the shit that was over there.
That's all right, because I'm going to edit it right out.
There are 35 D's in the web address.
And every video stars Jerry from The Facts of Life.
Today, Junior.
All right, since it's your
Birthday boy, take us out.
Needless to say, we said it.